hope we didn't catch a screw in the backhoe tire. It just looked a little low, and it was about 5 pounds low. So that would be a rough start, because suddenly we need the backhoe. We have tried really hard to keep all the nails and screws out of the dirt, but as you know, in the moon dust, sometimes you drop them and they just vanish. And of course, the first thing to find them are the tires. So today is going to be one of those kind of run around and probably not get much work done kind of days. We need to get rock delivered. So I've been working this morning on computing the volume of this area and trying to figure out a way to use at least some of the native soil that we have here. The concern we have is that it's got a little too much clay in it. It does drain well, but we're not sure if it would be safe to use that stuff. And because of the scope of this, it's always tempting to just spend more money. So I think we're going to have a 3/4 minus rock delivered that we're going to use to backfill the inner part and compact in preparation for the slab. And then we're going to have drain rock, which is 1 to 2 inch round river rock. And that's what they use around here for drainage around foundations. We know it's different in every area. Some people use sand. Everybody kind of has their thing. Some people use washed rock, like 3/4 minus or 3/4 washed. So we've got to get that ordered. I've been doing some math. We don't want to buy too much of it because we don't want to have a bunch of it sitting around. We still have quite a bit of pea gravel, which I'm going to try to use in some of the side areas, like along the side over here. Just because we have it and we need to get it used up. We had a little too much. Of course, we still need to use something along the front for the perimeter drain. I'm tempted to use what's called cap rock, and it's a crushed and washed rock, but it doesn't have any slate in it, I don't think, but it's kind of a jumbled rock. It's not a particular size. They don't trommel it, I don't think. It's what they build roads out of, I think. Anyway, so we've got to get some of that, but that's not urgent for today. The big priority, getting things backfilled. Before we do that, we have just a lot of like little housekeeping things. We've got to get these Zuckles and Zonts returned. We got all that stuff pulled off yesterday. That's going to put another $1,400 back in our pocket, because the way that works is they rent them to you. When you return them clean and in good condition, they give you your money back. Pretty sweet deal, minus the fact that you have to pay an arm and a leg to rent them and then get a bunch of lumber. Rant over on that. We're still trying to find sill plates. This has proven to be probably one of the most difficult things. We're trying to keep moving on it because we're not bottlenecked yet, but the moment is coming where we'll be ready to put the TGI or I-joists on, and guess what? We won't have sill plates. I think I've located something that'll work. I have to go look at it though, because the most critical part about this is that they're flat, true, and straight. We found somebody that has like 300 linear feet in stock. Got to go inspect all that stuff. And then I need to go by the fabrication place and pay up and confirm that they can do the work that we need done on our steel beam. Where these piers are, there will be posts bearing on the front foundation, the 2 piers, and we're actually going to have to pour a footing in the back because we screwed up and we did not put a beam pocket on the top of the wall. So that small oversight is going to cost us some time and money in the back corner building a footing. We're going to pour that when we pour the slab, so it won't be an independent pour. But I've got to go by and make sure that that steel beam is en route and that it's in their hands and they're getting all the fabrication done, because that will become the bottleneck fairly quickly here. This week, we're focusing on getting basically slab prepped. This coming weekend is Labor Day weekend. My sister's coming back to help, and we've got a couple of volunteers that have offered to help with the slab who have experience. We need to give them some lead time, so we're just trying to stay super committed. I don't think it's going to happen this week because it's just a lot. There's just a lot to do. We've got radiant going in the floor. We've got the foam underlayment, and we've got to, of course, get this backfilled and compacted. So that's what's coming up this week. Focus, focus, focus on getting that stuff done. We'd like to get this slab poured as soon as possible. I just don't know if it's going to happen before Labor Day. We complain about the heat, but today and tomorrow are forecasted to be the hottest days this summer. This summer has just been hot already, and here we are having even hotter days. So maybe it's good that we're kind of working on materials today. And of course, some of this work will be done by the backhoe, which will be nice to put some of the grunt work back on the machines. And we'll be working on compacting, so need to make sure we've got equipment available. These would have been kind of paver walker type things if the concrete hadn't gone off so fast. It was poured on this really fine moon dust, which just sucks the moisture right out of it. So these were hard as a rock before the top of our walls were even hard. So we're actually going to try to toss all these in and use them for backfill inside the garage there. We've already paid for the concrete, might as well use it for fill. We have a lot of native fill, but we've been advised be careful using that because of the clay content and the compactability. This will give you some idea how much silt is in this native soil. We could mix it with a little bit of sand because we have all that grizzlied material that we worked so hard to clean as we were excavating. We can mix that with sand and probably get a better permeability, but at this point, like everything, time is often the greatest struggle, so we'll probably stick with something we can purchase. I was a little worried about this, so I just stopped to check with our fabricator on the steel beam, and one, they're very busy, so they haven't had time to even look at our plans yet, which is fine. I've only emailed it to them about 3 days ago. And it takes a while to get the beam. It could take a week to get the beam. They're about 2 weeks out on fabrication. So the soonest, if everything went good, we could have that beam ready would be 3 weeks. And if everything goes well, we'll have the slab ready in 2 weeks, maybe a week, I don't know. At that point, the beam will be holding us up from installing our I-joist and our first floor platform. So maybe we should have got moving on this sooner. Hindsight. Anyway, so we'll keep in touch with them and hopefully we can get moving on it quickly. Well, it's getting dark pretty fast. I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm pretty sure the camera's past focus, but it feels good to be making progress. Finally getting this interior footing drain completed. Took a little bit of experimenting to find the orientation of the fittings to give me the layout that I wanted, but overall I'm really happy with how this is coming together. Should work pretty darn good, just about like that. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for joining us. It's been a lot of chaos lately, and I think it's good for us to share this stuff because this is the reality of building a house. If every day all you did was pound nails, we'd build houses in weeks, not months or years. but there's just a tremendous amount of planning and coordination and a lot of research that goes into putting one of these things together, especially for folks like Alyssa and I. It's our first house, and we're in up to our eyeballs, which is great. So we'll see you next time.